NewsNation's Hannah Brandt is live for us at the White House. So, Hannah, despite this new polling, the administration is celebrating today, saying the first year has been a big success.
Nichole, they certainly are. It's been a whirlwind first year, right? The Trump administration is eager to highlight what they see as their top accomplishments. Listen to what President Trump told reporters on his way back here to the White House last night.
We've taken our country from a failure with open borders, no business, everything going badly, terrific inflation, the highest inflation in history, prices that are through the roof. And we brought prices down. We have very little inflation.
But as you noted, there's disagreement on whether President Trump is doing enough on the economy. A recent Wall Street Journal poll found 57% of Americans described the strength of the economy as not so good or poor, while 33% said it was good and only 9% ranked it excellent. Now, we know President Trump's sweeping tariffs have been a key piece of his economic agenda. While critics say those tariffs have offended allies and hurt American consumers, the U.S. Treasury has reported they've made billions in revenue for the U.S. Now, another area the Trump administration is eager to highlight is immigration enforcement. The president is touting those record low numbers of border crossings and his nationwide deportation crackdown. The Department of Homeland Security claims they've removed more than 670,000 immigrants here illegally. But ICE operations in cities across the country, including in L.A., Chicago, and most recently Minneapolis, have drawn pushback, as we've seen, with massive protests and Democratic leaders slamming the Trump administration's aggressive enforcement tactics. Now, President Trump has also made huge moves on the global stage. That's been a big area of focus for him, including negotiating a historic peace agreement in 2025 between Israel and Hamas. And there was that military operation to bomb nuclear facilities in Iran, as the Trump administration continues to consider even further military action in the country to support those recent Iranian protests. Plus, the president ordered months of military attacks on alleged Venezuelan drug boats. As we know, eventually that escalated to land strikes on the country to capture and remove its leader, Nicolas Maduro, with President Trump now promising the U.S. will rebuild Venezuela's oil infrastructure. And of course, now the president has turned his sights to Greenland with his efforts to acquire the Arctic territory at the center of global discussions this week. And international leaders are gathering for the World Economic Forum soon, so we're expecting to hear more about that. Nichole?
All right, so Hannah, the Trump administration, says they have big plans now for year two. What are they saying that they're working on?
Well, the White House does say one of their main priorities going forward is the economy. We have seen President Trump pitch several economic proposals in the past few weeks. That includes things like a cap on credit card interest and a plan for 50-year mortgages. Plus, his team says he's going to unveil some new housing affordability proposals at this week's World Economic Forum. Now, the president himself, as you noted, has made a few trips to talk about the economy in places throughout the country. We're expecting to see some more of that in year two, with Vice President Vance traveling to an Ohio shipping facility this Thursday to talk about efforts to lower prices. And this, of course, is a year of midterm elections, which could make a huge impact on the Trump agenda, depending on whether Republicans can hold on to their majorities. Now, the White House has said President Trump plans to be very active in campaigning on behalf of those Republicans that are up for election, but he may face an uphill battle, as historically we know the opposite party of the White House tends to do better in these midterms.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.